Nova Guest List Podcast
with Kieran McGuinness.
The very best in indie, alternative and homegrown music from the seriously addictive Radio Nova.
Oh, what a song. That is Republica Loose on Radio Nova, Comeback Girl, and that is the first choice of the fantastic Cable Boy, because we are blessed because Cable Boy have come into the studio. Shamey, how you doing?
Hey, how are you? I'm good, man.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. Cornet, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing well.
You're both looking well as well. Can you tell people who don't know a little bit about Cable Boy, please? So before we go on, it's a 5-piece band from West Dublin, formed 2023. This is your debut album. It's called Forever. It came out on Friday, which is very, very exciting. So can you tell us a little bit about the band, Shamey?
Yeah, so myself and Liam and the bassist have been kind of together since 2019, kind of writing and just doing songs and thinking of ideas. In 2023, this kind of formation of the band came together, and we just got very serious about and intentional about what we wanted to do and the kind of band we wanted to be. And I think it's kind of led us here now, you know.
Yeah, well, it's a very exciting weekend with your debut album. The album is, I think it's just a pleasure to listen to. But the sounds, it's kind of like The Cure. There's a bit of Tame Impala in there. There's a little bit of Block Party in there as well. But it's this sort of like 80s and kind of dancey kind of grooves in the background. There's kind of a bit of emo in there as well. It's such a mix. Was this something that like you felt that you made a decision on, Corne, or was it something that kind of just came together over a period of time?
Yeah, it definitely came together over a period of time. Before we went in to really do the album, we played a lot of the songs during live shows, and we started to be more intentional about the sound we were going for. We wanted it to be a little bit heavy and, you know, push and make it driving while also making it danceable. So, you know, that's what led to this, album.
Yeah. And so playing the gigs, playing the songs, you know, they actually reshaped the songs then, and kind of you went back into the studio with this kind of the live kind of thing behind it, the experience of playing them live behind it.
Yeah, like we coined the term like goth disco because the influences you named, like The Cure, and then, you know, like with the kind of disco-y kind of vibe, danceability of Block Party, you know, that was something that, like, you know, us determining and defining that for ourselves, it just made it so much easier, you know, even if it's a little cheesy, you know, to come up with your own genre or whatever, you know. It's not a genre we came up with, but to really name it something very specific. Yeah. That was something that really helped shape the album and kind of drove us into a specific direction.
Well, it's good for the press release as well.
100%.
Yeah. So,
you know yourself.
So the album came out on Friday. So, like,
yes.
How does it feel? Like, are you just like, this is amazing, or like, I don't know how to feel, or should I have done more? Or?
Yeah, all of the things. Honestly, a lot of excitement being able to finally share it. We've been working on it for 2 years or a little bit more, and yeah, also just being like, how do we go about sharing this project now? You know, because you're going from saying this album is on the way to it's out now, go listen to it. But yeah, it's an enjoyable journey.
Yeah, well, and it's also like it's out now. What do we do? Yeah, I know. Like, it's a fun period. Yeah. So we're going to be listening to some songs from the album. We're going to be talking about your big gig, which is in the Grand Social on May 15th, and we're going to be choosing songs very briefly. Republica Loose was the song we chose there, Shamey. Why did you choose that song?
I think it has one of the best introductions of any song like I've ever heard. Like, it was the most like when I was a kid hearing that on the radio, like if it was audibly arresting, you know, I was like, what kind of pocket is that? You know, and the way it ends, the chorus, everything, but just that intro specifically will never, ever, ever, ever get old.
Oh no,
it's
so good. And I know I'm biased, but it is an absolutely exceptional song. Look, we're going to be chatting about the album, we're going to be chatting about the band, we're going to talk about your influences in a bit. But first, let's play some brand new music. This is a band called Theatre, and I think both of you approve of this band, Theatre. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is a brand new song by Limerick 4-piece. It's their debut single. They are a folk and post-punk act. Theatre is the band. The song is The Fall. This is a beaut. It's Radio Nova. Yeah, I love that. That is Call the Police by Thin Lizzy from Shades of Blue Orphanage, I think. An absolute tune. Chosen by Cable Boy, who we're blessed to have gracing us in the studio this evening. Shamey, why did you choose Thin Lizzy's Call the Police, or Thin Lizzy in general?
The drums, Thin Lizzy are firstly iconic and, you know, iconic. And then, but that song specifically, it's a bit of a deep cut, but the groove, the drums, the almost like Jimi Hendrix type vibe, perfect song for just like to rock out. It's a vibe. It's amazing.
Yeah, so tell us about your influences. So I mentioned a couple, and I think I'm okay with them. Cure, Tame Impala, Block Party. There's a lot of that in there. What else would be influences for Cable Boy?
For me, two musicians that I really leaned on when we were going through the record was Dive and Yves Tumor. Two bands and solo musicians that I just have a lot of attitude and great just, soul behind their music. And how they produce and everything, I thought was huge. So,
but you're a lyricist as well as one of the main songwriters. I know everyone writes the songs, but and is that where that's coming from? It's like I'm looking at great songwriters to help me write, or is it I've written a song, I'm looking at great songwriters to guide the song I've written?
I think it's the latter. Yeah, like I'm not necessarily trying to channel any of them when I'm necessarily going through the music, but I think all of us as a band taking our influences and then look to the greats to be like, okay, how did they communicate their influences as well, as opposed to what can we do that's like them? It's like, how can we give what we have the same way they did it, organically, naturally, yeah.
Yeah, and Corm, you're the same. You do you look at, like, you play keys, right?
Right, I play keys.
And so are you looking at like great, amazing keyboard players, or are you just listening to bands, or is it a more holistic thing?
Yeah, I'm honestly looking at it more at a holistic thing. Like, I'm listening to Tame Impala as well. I'm listening to Block Party, Dive, but I'm also trying to write the keys as if I was actually the third guitar player.
Oh yeah.
So
melody.
A lot of them is just melody lines, which is really interesting.
Well, look, we're going to talk about the album. The album is Forever. We're with Cable Boy. We're going to talk about it up after this. Stick around.
Nova.
Yeah, it's Radio Nova. This is the All Irish Hour, and we're blessed to be joined by Cable Boy, Shamey, and Cornet, who they have a brand new album out this week called Forever. It's a brilliant listen. It's very sort of 80s influenced. It's kind of got dance grooves, it's just like a brilliant album, very well written, loads of great melodies all throughout, and there's kind of a Cure feel. There's a Tame Impala, Block Party, as we mentioned. Shamey, you said that the album, you were just doing recordings and like putting songs together, and suddenly the producers you were working with, Adam and David, they were like, this is an album.
Yeah. Adam and David were really they were adamant. I would even say they strong-armed us. No, joking.
Okay.
But they're very adamant on us making it into an album. They just kept reiterating that it's something, having your debut album is something you're not really gonna experience. So while I'm in this energy of, even thinking of songs like us, like kind of trying to write these songs while we have that energy for this thing that was going to be the EP, why not stretch it out, try to make it something more, and try to find that essence of the album. And if not for them, we probably would have just stuck with an EP, but I'm really glad we went with the album instead.
But like, you're putting together an album. Is that daunting, or is it like, did it just feel like this is the next thing? No, we're into this is just the next thing.
Yeah, it was very daunting because these are songs that, like, again, we've had for a very long time, and we only played them in live shows, and they started to really take shape in the studio. So once they're done, it's the question of, will people like it? Does it make sense? Is it too insular? Very daunting.
Like, what do you want people to take away from the album? Like, what do you like? You're writing. You're coming from that perspective. But what do you want people to feel when they listen to Forever?
I want them to feel like they're listening to a band with a lot of attitude, a band that's not really afraid to take chances, a band that's not afraid to like wear the influences on their sleeves. And also just listen to like a kick-ass rock album, Like I said, attitude was very important with the album to give that, come across with that, like, with the instrumental and also lyrically, and how much energy we're giving behind the lyrics as well. Just take away that there's a lot of energy. Yeah.
So Something in My Head, we're going to play that now. We've played this on the show before. This was one of our previous singles of the week. So Something in My Head, Cable Boy, can you tell us a little bit about the song before we play it?
Like that attitude thing I mentioned earlier. It's a song that has a lot of attitude, but it's also about just being able to just scroll on your phone and see like horrible atrocities, and then be like, all right, well, now I'm going to go to work, and you're still thinking of these things in your head. So yeah.
Oh, okay, that's cool. This is Something in My Head by Cable Boy from the album Forever. Yeah, Cable Boy, Something in My Head on Radio Nova from the new album Forever. Lots of people enjoying that one. So I got a question for you, right, guys? So this album, across the album, there's a little bit of a theme that I noticed, okay? So stars, sun, space, the heavens, universe, the moon, mentioned a lot across the album, multiple mentions of all those things. And the meaning, the subconscious meaning of those words relates to a desire for exploration and knowledge and a longing for meaning or purpose. Is that something that you recognise?
100%. Like, I'm obsessed with space. I'm obsessed with sci-fi. Like, the fact that you even, yeah,
That's really good.
That's really cool. Yeah, like the idea of like feeling like small. I don't know. It's not in a bad way, but like feeling like, oh, I'm just a part of this universe, this like, you know, infinite amount of stars and galaxies. That's something. And then also having the music to be really expansive like that, but also watching a lot of sci-fi and writing a lot of the songs after watching a lot of this sci-fi movies.
Yeah, there's a lot of movie references
100%.
through. I mean, you're like, I mean, fair play. Like you can. I could grab the influences out of it, which is cool. But it's a very first album thing as well to recognize the influences, you know. But there's a lot of confidence on the album, Cornet. So like, is that like, do you like it's a confident first step, you know? And is that because you just play together so much that you kind of know who you are as a band?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've grown to discover who we are together as well. And, you know, there's a great chemistry within the band. We actually hang out, you know, talk about stuff aside from music. So that really does lend to the music.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit about the song Icarus then before we play it?
Yeah, Icarus is about, you know, taking a chance essentially of, you know, wanting to be able to succeed, but the possibility of failure is just as high.
Yeah, well look, this is a great song from the album Forever. This is Cable Boy and Icarus. Turn this one up loud. That is nice. That is Cable Boy and Icarus, and the two lads here, let me tell you, the two lads here are grooving out to their own song here, and I have to say it's infectious. It absolutely is. So that is the second song that we played from Forever. We've been playing the songs, and look, it's a great album. Congratulations on the work that you've done, guys. So
thank you.
What is it like live? What's it going to be like? You're going on tour soon, and the big Dublin gig is the Grand Social on May 15th. What is the show like? What can people expect from the show?
Expect a really great show, a lot of energy, a lot of just engagement as well with the crowd. I think we feed off of that, and that's actually the best part about performing.
Are you kind of like, we're going to replicate the album in perfect, you know, you're going to be like you're listening to it on your headphones, or you're like, no, we're going to take it somewhere else, we're doing something different, why don't we take it somewhere else when we play?
We are trying to get the energy on the album, because the studio album is very important, but the live version as well is a bit more of our personality comes out as well. So it's both, it's as energetic as the record, but you know, there's still something different, and if you guys come, you'll see.
Okay, great. So the 15th of May is the big Dublin gig in the Grand Social. That's going to be exciting. So if you'd like to ask Cable Boy a question or anything about their debut album, or you know, any thoughts on the music or anything like that, 087 1818 100 is the text. Please do get in touch. Now, you've been choosing music as well as all that, and another act you've chosen is Annie Dog, and it's called Have I Been Living? Yeah, Have I Been Living. Why did you choose this song, Shamey?
She's one of the best musicians in Ireland, one of the best songwriters in this country, and like, there hasn't been a song she's released that I haven't liked. And it's just, this is another example of just amazing songwriting.
Do you take a lot from other kind of Irish bands, like when you're sitting, you know, supporting, when you're on tour, when you're going to your local, you know, venue or whatever, like, are you sitting there going, oh, I need to, that's made me think, you know, is that something that you get from each other?
Yeah, we actually go to a lot of shows as well in Dublin and wherever we can, and we're also just as inspired by them as we are from essentially others. So yeah, it's a really important part as well of our artistry, is supporting other people.
Yeah, I love when you go and see someone, you're like, oh, this is magic. Okay, let's play it. This is Have I Been Living by Annie Dog, chosen by Cable Boy. It's Nova. Yeah, I love it. That is Annie Dog. We are here with the brilliant Cable Boy, and they're celebrating their debut album being released. It's called Forever. How's it going so far, Shamey?
Yeah, it's really fun. Thanks for having us.
How are you feeling, Cornet?
Feeling great.
Good. Okay, let's do a little game of album promotion cliche. Okay. So first up, this is a new chapter for us. Is that a cliche that you're using?
No.
Okay,
not.
good. All right. Okay. We pushed ourselves outside of our comfort zone.
Yes.
Yeah, we use that.
Yes,
yeah.
we did.
Okay, we didn't care about expectations.
No, I didn't say that.
We cared. I cared. Okay, that was before. I cared.
Okay. We just locked ourselves away and created.
No. We went to our 9-to-5 jobs.
Yes, and
then found time to create.
Okay, all right. So what do we have? We got 2 now. We're doing quite well here. This is good. It's a journey from start to finish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the album we always wanted to make.
Yes.
I think we said that once, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely said that.
Okay. We didn't overthink it.
I don't think we said that.
No.
We didn't say that.
Okay, it reflects where we are right now.
Oh, I think I did say that twice, actually. I've said that a
Okay.
couple times.
It was influenced by the live experience.
Yeah.
You definitely said that.
Yeah, we did.
Okay,
Word
and
for word.
final one. We wrote this from a place of vulnerability.
No, we've
No,
never said that.
but
No.
we'll take that.
We'll take it. Okay. If you'd like to ask the guys a question, it is 087 1818 100. We're going to get to a couple of questions up after this and another choice from Cable Boy. It's Nova.
High grade.
Nova.
Yeah, it's Radio Nova. It's Kieran McGuinness. You're listening to the All Irish Hour. We are blessed to be joined by Cable Boy, who are celebrating their debut album Forever, which came out on Friday. Lots of people enjoying the music, lots of positive comments coming in. But we did get a few questions. How do you feel about questions?
Love them.
Love questions. Okay, so and this is from Brian. Maybe you can tell me. I don't know it. So, which train station did they shoot their video for Something in My Head?
It was Hazel Hatch, right?
Yeah, Hazel Hatch and
train
Selbridge.
station.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a specific one. I like that one. Now, you're going to have to explain this one to me, Shamey, because I don't understand. And I think it is. So it is a longer question, but the end of it says, does Shamey like Rockshore?
Oh my goodness.
That's inside football.
Okay, yeah, I was an extra in a Rockshore ad, and yeah, I love Rockshore. So good. I love Rockshore.
Okay, no, we can't. Other alcohol is available.
Yeah,
and
sure.
we don't recommend it. So, what was your best gig experience so far?
Dingle, Other Voices in the Dingle Inn at was it 11?
No, it was like 1 a.m.
1 a.m., whatever it was, but it was absolutely packed. People were crowd surfing in a pub, hitting
Sweet.
the top. It was sweaty. A lot of people got into various modes of undress.
Oh,
and
nice.
We'll leave it as that, but it was very such a rock and roll moment. It was especially we were testing these songs out as well.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, you need to release this album. So it was
The
a great
Grand
moment.
Social May 15th. I can't say whether we'll be various states of undress at it, but things happen.
Keep your clothes on, people.
Yeah.
Please.
Well, that's brilliant. Look, if you'd like to ask a question to Cable Boy, 087 1818 100 is the text. Let's play Van Morrison's Moon Dance, which you've chosen. And can you tell us, please, why did you choose Van Morrison's Moon Dance?
Yeah, so Jason picked this, and he also plays piano and keys a lot as well, so it lends to kind of his jazzier side. But yeah, it's also a banger.
Yeah, it's a banger. 1970, Van Morrison, Moon Dance. Let's do it. Chosen by Cable Boy. Listen to that jazzy feel. I'm all about it. It's Nova.
Well, it's a marvelous night.
Yeah, that is Van Morrison's Moon Dance. And some members of Cable Boy would like to distance themselves from that choice, and they are blaming Jason from the band for that choice. But we are an equal opportunities radio station right here, and that is, of course, Van Morrison's Moon Dance. It's Radio Nova. We're here with the band Cable Boy, and we're chatting about their brand new album, and it's called Forever. And what a pleasure it is to have you, lads. So there is a lot of film and movie references throughout the album, and I was kind of wondering, why that was or what the references were, but it's just because you're kind of big sci-fi fans, I suppose.
Yes, very, very, very true. Yeah, we love sci-fi. And
Well, but how does that work? Are you like, I've got a song and these voice clips or references connect to it, or is it like I'm going to write a song about this sci-fi thing and then it's embedded into it?
I think the latter. I think when I started thinking about the lyrics after we had all the instrumentals, a lot of it is just these instrumentals feel very spacey, and if it reminds me of this scene I watched in this movie or this chapter I read in this book, so those lyrics would naturally meld together with the music as well. So it just kind of came naturally.
Yeah, and so are you like, you're making soundscapes, with the keys and stuff like that, and you're filling out the sound. Are you like, oh, this needs to fit in with the theory that has been brought? Or do you sometimes not know where Shamey's coming from with his?
Yeah, sometimes we don't know. But like when it came to the stuff based off of films and TV shows, we were actually sometimes watching them at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
So it actually made it a lot easier to go in and be like, oh, this is the space that we're in, and this is the sounds I need to come up with, and make.
Yeah, great. Okay, we're going to play some brand new music now. This is by a band called No Photos. I believe you both approve.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. This song is Easy, and it's from their brand new album. Now, they released their album last Friday also, and it's called Strand. This is a gem. 3-piece from Dublin. No Photos is the band. This song is called Easy. It's Radio Nova. Yeah, like that. That is No Photos, three-piece Dublin band, and they released their debut album. It's called Stand, and they released that on Friday. It's called Strand, and they released that on Friday. Brilliant song called Easy from that album. This is Kieran McGuinness. This is the Nova Guest. It's the All Irish Hour. We have been blessed to be joined by Cable Boy. How's it gone so far, lads?
Amazing. This is fun.
Happy, good. So tell me, the album Forever came out. You're playing, as I say, a tour, and also that comes to Dublin on the 15th of May and in the Grand Social. What else? What other festivals do you have planned?
We're playing all together now.
Amazing.
Which is really exciting. Down Waterford.
First time playing all together now?
Yes.
Well, it's a great lineup, Pulp and Kneecap and Disclosure and Underworld and the Merry Wallopers. It's going to be brilliant. And it's such a big sprawly thing as well. You can kind of go and have your own sort of night, whatever, you can have your own little world going on as well. And what about the rest of the year then for the album and, for Cable Boy? What are your plans? What are your hopes?
Yeah, we're doing a tour in May, so we're playing we're playing across Ireland, and then obviously capping it off with our headline show in Dublin on the May the 15th, and then we just want to try and play as many shows as possible, get the album to as many people as possible, and then if any bands are coming to Ireland, international acts, hopefully we get to open for them as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Someone actually texted in and said that they saw you playing. Oh God, sorry, I'm going to get this wrong. But they saw you playing with somebody and they were great. Anyway, that's another text that came in. But look, the album is great. It's called Forever. Cable Boy, it's been such a pleasure having you in. Thanks so much and best of luck with everything.
Thank you so much, Karen.
Man.
Tell us a little bit about, before we go, tell us about Gavin Friday and Angel, which is your final track of the evening. Why did you choose that?
It's an incredibly beautiful song, and it's a nice way to kind of play ourselves out.
Yeah, okay, sweet. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you so much.
Best of luck with it all.
Take care.
This is Gavin Friday and Angel on Radio Nova.
The Nova Guest List Podcast with Kieran McGuinness. The very best in indie, alternative and homegrown music from the seriously addictive Radio Nova.